Welcome to the 121st Annual Helen Hayes Hospital Honors Assembly. We're so happy to join you during National Rehab Week to honor our inspirational patients who have triumphed in the face of tremendous adversity. Celebrated each year since our founding in 1900, the Honors Assembly began as a graduation for the hospital's pediatric patients. Today, it continues as a celebration of the extraordinary strength of our patients and the life-changing power of rehab. In a few moments, you will hear the powerful stories of this year's honorees. Through tireless commitment to their rehab programs and to the pursuit of independence, they have made remarkable recoveries from the effects of traumatic injuries and illness. We're so grateful to our honorees for sharing their stories with us today and for inspiring us all with their accomplishments. Thank you as well to our amazing staff who have dedicated their careers to making these extraordinary recoveries possible. Even in uncertain times, our healthcare heroes never falter, and we celebrate the many ways they are improving lives. Finally, thank you to everybody tuning in today, including the many friends of the hospital, our Board of Visitors, the New York State Department of Health, the Helen Hayes Hospital Foundation and Volunteer Corps, and all within our community. It's my honor now to turn over the ceremony to our rehab staff, who will begin our virtual awards presentation.
Hello all, my name is Carpenter, and I was Brandon's physical therapist while he was here. The Continuing Care Cup is presented to patients who have exhibited tremendous strength and resiliency in their continued journey toward recovery. There is nobody that we can think of as being more of an example of courage and accomplishment in his ongoing recovery than Brandon Ulrich. Brandon was in an ATV accident in April of 2020 and suffered a traumatic brain injury to various parts of his brain. He required a craniectomy with a skull placed in his abdomen to allow his brain swelling to subside. He was dependent on a ventilator and required a tracheostomy and feeding tube. When Brandon arrived at Helen Hayes Hospital in June of last year, he was in a coma and only able to open his eyes spontaneously. He had no movement in his extremities, did not withdraw from pain, and was unable to speak. His stay was further complicated with multiple fevers, bleeds, etc. that needed readmittance to acute care, but each time he came back to us, he responded to his therapist with little movements and sounds to let us know he was ready to get back to work. Brandon slowly began to make progress in all areas of therapy. He eventually transitioned off the ventilator to regular oxygen support through his trach. He progressed to a speaking valve and was able to make mostly sounds with no clear words. He received custom splints to increase the range of motion and preserve his skin integrity and daily wound care and intensive nursing care. All through this, Brandon's family was unable to be at the hospital to cheer him on due to COVID precautions. But they would FaceTime and watch some of his therapy sessions and cheer him on through the iPad.
When it was time for Brandon to be discharged in November, his parents were determined to bring him home to his family. His parents received intensive training from all therapy disciplines and nursing staff on his daily care so he could return home to continue to heal and recover. With the support of his parents and his custom equipment, such as the Tilton Space wheelchair, Brandon did indeed return home more alert. He was decannulated from the trach, and he was breathing on his own. He was still dependent for all activities of daily living, but he was communicating more through opening and closing his eyes, more sounds, and facial expressions. With the help of his family, Brandon continued to work towards his rehab goals. His mother, Denise, has taken time off of work to become his full-time caregiver by providing all of the nursing and wound care and becoming his OT, PT, and speech therapist. Brandon progressed significantly while attending outpatient therapy closer to home. When he returned to us for a consult for a new wheelchair, we were elated to see he no longer needed his Tilton Space wheelchair. Because of his increased trunk control, he can propel a standard wheelchair, and he can transfer with a sliding board, and now with no sliding board. Brandon can also speak, eat orally, and transfer into his family vehicle. Most recently, he and his family have gone on vacations to Cape May and Brandon was able to lay out a tan on the beach and walk with his walker. Brandon and his family have worked incredibly hard and never gave up, and now he is living a life that many thought was impossible. Despite many challenges and any uncertainty about his recovery, he is the definition of a fighter and has pushed through and continues to push himself mentally and physically to reach his goal of being independent again. Brandon's determination, strength, and courage continue to inspire us all, and we are so excited to continue to see his progress in the future. Congratulations, Brandon, on all of your hard work and continued recovery. We are very proud of you and present you with the Continuing Care Cup Award. Do you want to come up and give a speech?
Thank all of you for being very nice and giving me this award for my recovery, which many thought would never happen, and that I can still be here and accept this award from you guys.
The Frontline Hero Award honors the sacrifice and selfless acts of those who have served on the front lines, putting themselves at risk for injury or illness for the benefit of our society. Today, we honor Mr. Vitelio Esquivel Polanco, whose courage is not only evident in the way he served his community throughout the pandemic, but also in the strength he showed in his own remarkable recovery. During the height of the COVID pandemic in December 2020, Vitelio was providing vital support to his community by making pizzas at a local restaurant and driving a cab in the mornings. His life changed when he tested positive for COVID-19, and on the day after Christmas, he was admitted to Nyack Hospital. Vitelio fought the coronavirus in acute care for 3 months. He needed a respirator, a tracheostomy, and a feeding tube. During those 3 months in bed, he developed profound weakness and a deep sacral wound. In March, Vitelio was admitted to Helen Hospital. He was profoundly deconditioned, just recently weaned from assisted breathing via a tracheotomy and ventilator to breathing on his own, which was so labored and difficult for him. He had a feeding tube and a serious sacral wound, which affected his sitting and bed mobility. His weakness and shortness of breath left him dependent in all areas of self-care, mobility, and ambulation. He was unable to bathe or dress himself, unable to walk, needed 2 people to stand and transfer from bed to his wheelchair, and could barely sit up by himself without the maximum assistance of 2 therapists for sitting balance. Vitelio was so frightened during those initial first days here at Helen Hospital, but he worked hard and diligently, accepted all challenges from his rehab team, pushed himself to meet our staggering demands, and always smiled. He had a way of motivating both patients and staff alike to be their best with his silent but shining presence, without ever being aware of how he really affected us all. Vitelio had a way of spreading cheer the moment he entered the therapy room, initially being pushed in a wheelchair, then navigating a powered wheelchair, then walking in with a walker accompanied by his physical therapist. With intensive occupational therapy, he was also able to feed himself, bathe, and dress himself upon discharge home. Vitelio led by example, and his sheer determination to get back to the business of his life and his family is awe-inspiring. He personifies the true spirit of Helen Hayes Hospital and reminds all of us why we love that we do here every single day. On behalf of Helen Hayes Hospital, and especially our colleagues on Unit 3A, which was spearheaded by Dr. Mary Guaracini, we are thrilled to honor Vitelio with the 2021 Frontline Hero Award. Congratulations.
Helen, for you?
Oh, thank you.
Do you want to say something?
Yes.
Do you want me to hold that for you?
It's too heavy for me. Good morning. Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. First time I gotta say thank you, God, for giving my life back, and thank you, everyone, for keep me stay here for 2 months. God bless you. The doctor, she need a, like, I don't know how to say it in English, right? Thank you for giving more days, feel like me, like feel better to go home. She told me maybe you need 2 more weeks. I said, please, please, I don't want to go home. I want to walk and everything. It's not ready. She gave me more days. Thank you very much. God bless you. My two, I forgot the name.
Christina
and Joanne. Thank you very much. They do a good job for me, like family. Every time when I watch the time, like 9:30, I just wait when she come and say, ready, wake up, hello. Thank you very much. Thank you. God bless you. God give you more energies to help more people. Everybody outside, I told people, go to the Helen Hayes. Helen Hayes is the best, nice people, like family. And thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'm very happy. I never forgot. Every time when, because I don't live far away, I live like 5 minutes. Every time when I pay, oh, that's my second house. I told my kids, that's my second house. And thank you very much. And my interpreter, she's, muchas gracias. Thank you very much. Every time when you text me, you say, you want to go outside? Please text me. Every time when I pray for Jesus, and Jesus listen every time when I pray. This is for you, everybody, too. Thank you, and God bless you, and I see you another day.
The Medal of Independence is reserved for a patient who has overcome a catastrophic disabling injury with courage, hope, and an unshakable determination that inspires us all. Blythe Honor Finn is the very embodiment of these qualities, and it's our absolute pleasure to present her with the Medal of Independence today. Blythe is a healthcare hero who is working as a nurse practitioner specializing in radiation oncology at NYU. In January of 2021, she was hospitalized following 2 days of fever, cognitive changes, right-sided body weakness resulting in 2 falls, and significant difficulty expressing her basic wants and needs. Blythe had suffered multiple ischemic strokes in the right frontal, temporal, parietal, and occipital lobes of her brain. Approximately 2 days later, these strokes converted to hemorrhages, for which she underwent a craniectomy and a right temporal lobectomy. Blythe came to Helen Hayes Hospital in March of 2021 after beginning her rehab journey at Rusk Rehabilitation at NYU. When we first met her, she required the assistance of 2 people to safely perform transfers and walk. She had absent sensation in her left leg and arm and would often move very quickly, forgetting to use her left side during functional mobility tasks. Blythe also had significant communication difficulties, and she was only able to answer yes and no questions, identify some letters and words, and match symbol pictured objects to written words. In addition, her expressive and speaking abilities were limited to naming simple objects with some assistance, repeating single words and phrases, and copying at the single letter level. Despite all her many obstacles, Blythe worked tirelessly and never gave up. She attended every single one of her therapy sessions, and always with a smile on her face. She loved to sing and would dance in her chair during every rest break. In recreation therapy, she continued to show off her dancing and singing skills while attending group programs such as bowling, adapted golf, and arts and crafts. Blythe actively participated in all one-on-one recreation therapy sessions, enjoying painting, ceramics, jigsaw puzzles, socializing with recreation staff, and more. She also enjoyed coloring, painting, writing, listening to music, and meditating alongside her mother in her room. Blythe used her right hand for all these activities, and despite all the hardships she faced cognitively, linguistically, and physically, she was determined to excel in every activity that she could. Blythe met every challenge with tireless commitment to achieve her independence. Her smile was contagious, and she was always able to put some humor into every session, despite her ongoing frustrations. She made so much progress, and at the time of her discharge, she was transferring with supervision and walking with the use of a cane and an ankle-foot orthosis with touch assist of 1 person. In addition, her speech and language skills improved to the point where she was able to make her wants and thoughts known, read and write by copying at the sentence level, and engage in basic conversation. Blythe, your endless motivation, positive attitude, and determination towards independence have inspired us all. We are so happy to present you with the Medal of Independence. Congratulations.
Aphasia sucks. But I'll try my best to get the words out. Anyway. Queenie, you're on fire. My friends and family have been wonderful. Elmi, Sarah, and Sarah too, and Colleen, you have helped me tremendously. I'm so sorry. I have lovely doctors. I love my doctors. And my nurses team. I didn't slow your roll. I didn't. From the beginning. I'm obese. I've had diabetes. My work life is very stressful. I have crazy hours and lots of stresses. Mini strokes came. The big one happened in Wyndham. A lot of therapy, but I'm okay now. I'm working on it every single day. I love music. Peanut butter jelly time, peanut butter jelly time. It did the words out correctly. I love aqua therapy. I do. I love walking. I try to 1,000 steps a day or more every single day. It clears my mind. I love aqua therapy and now twice a week. Never gave up. Never gave up. Sing a song and the words will come. And the words will come. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm one of the physical therapists here. So, the Medal of Independence celebrates those who have overcome incredible adversity, those who never give up when faced with a challenge and who fight for independence every step of the way. Today, we are so happy to present this honor to Brian Andrews, who has inspired us with his fierce determination to overcome the devastating effects of COVID-19. In December 2020, Brian was admitted to Vassar Brothers Medical Center with COVID-19. He was in respiratory failure, diabetic ketoacidosis, and his ICU course was complicated by atrial fibrillation and pneumonia. His stay was further complicated by pulmonary embolisms, a sacral wound which required surgical intervention, and the need for a cardioversion procedure. When Brian arrived at Helen Hayes Hospital weeks later, he was unable to stand and required maximum assistance and a 2-person dependent mechanical overhead lift to transfer from his bed to his wheelchair. This loss of independence was especially difficult for the dedicated husband and father of 3 who enjoyed attending his kids' many sporting events and working for the highway department. Being away from his family really took a toll on Brian, and he relied heavily on his rehab team to help him cope with the reality of his new functional status. Brian was provided with a tilt-in-space wheelchair to allow him to get out of bed for his therapy sessions. He was then transitioned to a power wheelchair to give him more independence and mobility. He was initially unable to tolerate sitting in his wheelchair for more than an hour or 2 due to pain from his sacral wound as well as low blood pressure, which would make him dizzy. Much of his treatment was spent sitting at the edge of the bed and performing the tilt table to help increase his upright tolerance. Yet despite all of these challenges, he always greeted staff with a smile and did his best to participate as much as he could.
Every day, Brian demonstrated groundbreaking improvements. He remembered he had taken his last steps on December 7th, and on March 10th, he walked 10 feet. He treasured every milestone. He quickly gained control at both his knees. He worked hard at being able to take on and off the braces by himself. He no longer wanted to use the overhead lift and worked furiously on pushing a manual wheelchair. These are just a few of the many accomplishments Brian strived to achieve. His attitude did a complete 180. He did not let anything get him down, and his biggest motivation remained being able to return home to see his family. Brian quickly became the mayor of the unit, getting to know every nurse and aide, every patient, and every therapist. His motivation and willingness to commit to every therapy session rubbed off on other patients. Once he got a taste of independence, he wanted more. Brian's initial plan was to go to a subacute facility, secondary to his ongoing medical issues and status. However, he and his family were no longer happy with that option. Brian continued to overcome several obstacles and strive for independence each day, and with the help of his family, he was indeed able to go home. It was not an easy path. It required multiple family trainings, several pieces of equipment, home modifications, and a commitment from Brian and his family. But as we have seen all throughout his rehab journey, Brian was more than up for the challenge. Brian endured a catastrophic disabling illness and was able to overcome the many barriers he faced. He tirelessly strived for independence and achieved a level never to be expected from the fatal prognosis he had received. Brian, you were a true light, not only for yourself, but for every therapist and patient who you came to know during your stay. You personify the spirit of the Medal of Independence, and we're so happy to present this award to you today.
Thank you so much.
So, Brian, we just want to give this to you and just let you know that we're just so proud of you and your accomplishments here.
You don't need
It's been
nothing written down, huh?
No, this is all
Off the top of
This is
the
all
head.
off the heart.
Yeah.
All right. But we love you. You've done a tremendous job. It's just so good to see you and your progress here, and just couldn't be more happy for you.
Yeah,
So,
thanks,
all right.
Josh. Thank you so much.
Proud of you, man.
Oh, thanks. You want to see me stand up?
Yeah, I do.
Lock your brakes.
Yeah.
Well, seriously.
Oh, jeez.
I locked you right here.
Hold on to this. Ooh. Hi. I'm a little nervous. I don't know what to say. I just would like to say what I've been telling these three, and Julio's heard me, and Kathy's heard me, and everybody. Is that Dr. Len? Hey! Hi! How you doing? Look, I'm standing. Look, I'm balancing. Yeah, no more. I told Kathy I was gonna moon and. I would just like to say, everybody here is angels. You guys do. I'm trying not to cry. God's work here, and I don't know where I would be without you guys. It's just, you should go home every day and just be proud of what you do. Like I said, I don't know how to thank you. I can never thank you enough. Everybody here, like I was telling Kathy before, down to the people that clean my room, to the people that cook my food every day, to the people that brought my food every day, every nurse, aide, everything, all my therapists, I can never thank you guys enough. Even the doctors, it's just, you, I can't put into words how thankful I am. And I'm home because of you guys. You know, you got me home. And I'm working hard every day to get better, and, you know, whenever I'm having problems, Josh pops up on my shoulder and like, do it, man. Just, I just want to again say thank you again. I'm so blessed that I came here, and it's great coming back. Even though I came for an award, I would come back here just to say hello to everybody, because that's how great of people you are. And MJ, thank you for everything. I appreciate it. And I know this will be on computer or something, so Mike Pesner, I'm mad that you're not here, buddy. So I just want to say thank you again to everybody and keep going forward. You guys are fantastic. Thank you so much for everything.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kelly. I was Tom's, one of his occupational therapists.
I'm Alexandra. I was a speech therapist.
And Natalie, who was his main physical therapist, is not here today, but she has wrote your speech, so I'm going to give it a read, okay? All right. Thomas Nagel tested positive for COVID-19 in early February of 2021. 10 days later, he was brought to the hospital with shortness of breath, which would be the start of a long, grueling hospital stay. We've all heard the horror stories of how devastating and catastrophic COVID-19 has the potential to be, and unfortunately, Tom and his family experienced it all firsthand. Tom's hospital course was filled with numerous medical complications, including a tracheostomy and intubation, multiple infections, hypoxic respiratory failure, pneumonia, dysphagia, atrial fibrillation, and profound weakness from critical illness myopathy and polyneuropathy, which left Tom unable to move on his own. Tom battled for his life over the course of 2 long months in the hospital, but once he was medically stable to discharge to Helen Hayes Hospital for rehab, it was only the beginning of his recovery journey. When he first arrived, Tom was on cardiac telemetry to continuously monitor his heart. It took 2 people just to sit him up at the edge of the bed for a short time before he needed to lay back down from exhaustion. He was so weak that it required a mechanical lift for transfers, and it would be weeks before he was strong enough to stand and walk the length of the parallel bars with the help of 3 physical therapists. But Tom was fiercely motivated, and he worked extra hard in therapy every session. His positivity was infectious, and he was known for telling quick, witty jokes and making everyone laugh in the therapy room. This was a big change from his early days, when he was found to have some cognitive and memory impairments following his prolonged hospital stay. Tom was transferred to Unit 2A from the 3rd floor after a couple of weeks, and his subsequent progress in therapy was so profound that he was unrecognizable to his previous therapists when they would come see him downstairs. Tom eventually received bilateral ankle-foot orthosis to help his walking and continued to do so well in therapy that we were able to move up his discharge date by a week. By the time he went home, Tom could walk all around the 2nd floor with a walker and was going up and down a full flight of stairs without any help. Tom's incredible progress was no doubt due to his hard work, dedication, and positive attitude. He constantly reminded us and himself of how far he'd come and how he's determined to keep going a little bit more every day. His physical therapist, Natalie, was fortunate enough to run into Tom at the grocery store a few weeks back. And true to his sense of humor and levity, he did a little dance for her in the aisle of the store without any assistive device to show her just how well he has been moving. Tom's resilience and ability to overcome such a devastating illness that nearly took his life is why he is so deserving of the Medal of Independence Award. Tom, we are so honored to have had the opportunity to work with you during your recovery. All of us, including Natalie, who is so sorry to miss being here today, want you to know that we are so proud of you and all the hard work that you've put in to get to where you are today. Congratulations.
This the Oscar? I am some actor. Holy cow. Beautiful.
Do you want to come up?
I'll say something.
Already?
Hold it for you if you.
I actually thought Alice was gonna, she taught me how to talk again.
You were always great at talking.
Yeah. Do you want to dance? You can do that now, which I couldn't do. First of all, my wife of 52 years next month. My daughter, my brother John, and his wife, Eva's here. 2 weeks ago, they celebrated 50 years married.
Wow.
I'm sorry?
Congratulations. Your other brother.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. These 2 ladies have halos on their head, and there's a reason for that. There's a guy in the back has got a halo on his head, and there's a reason for that too. I didn't mean to miss anybody, and I would never miss my brothers for sure. Okay. This is an honor. Thank you. I had a great time. Maybe. I don't remember half the voyage.
Yeah.
Maybe not even a third of it. Who knows? They say I was down for 35 days, and then luckily I came here. I think. I did come here, and I actually thought I was down on the other side of Haverstraw. I didn't realize it was in Helen Hayes. I was annoyed when they pulled me up to this place, which I didn't know. I thought I was in a freaking car wash. And that is no lie. There was a lot of yelling down there, but mostly by me. I thought that was Dr. Boyana was talking, what all the stuff she read off. Because that's about the third time I heard that, twice from her. It was, like I said, a nice trip. The people were fantastic. And while I'm thinking of people, what you like, you all remember that even though you're in the healthcare facilities, I was, 40 days in Nyack, I don't remember anybody. Whereas up here, I knew almost everybody by name. And down there, even though I woke up and I knew 2 or 3 people, maybe 3 nurses, I knew one doctor. I know, I think his name was St. James. The other 2 guys, I had no idea who they were. I still don't know today. But I cannot say that about this place, which is unfortunate for them. But they were very nice. They had to be nice people. It was like I said, interesting because Alexa, who first started me off walking down those parallel bars, and I could not move. There was one girl, Jill, actually picked my leg up to move my leg down that walk. I could not stand up. Mike and Natalie were always yelling at me, stand up straight, pull my tush in, so Mike could yell it, I'd stand up. I looked like a major general standing right there. I'd take 2 steps, and next thing I know, I look like an old 30-year sergeant major. It was interesting. Mike yelled at me, pick your feet up, pick your feet up. I can't go up the stairs, Mike. So the next day I go up the stairs, I go up a little bit. Next day I go up the next day. The next day I go up, try to go up the stairs, I can't move. And Mike is yelling, yeah, because you won't use your legs. I have all these fingerprints in the banisters because all I was doing was my shoulders. He could not get me to go up. And then little by little, holy cow. I could get out of the wheelchair by myself. Even Dr. Boyana came over a couple of times and said, look here, it used to take 3 people to get you up. You get up by yourself now. Natalie went on vacation one time, and she came back. I was talking about Mike, and Mike says, let's try something. So he gave me a cane. Next thing I know, I was running around the room. But that was thanks to him and Natalie. Natalie took me outside to the gazebo one day. She said, well, we're out here now, do your exercises. So I was doing my toe races and banging my head on the roof. She said, don't worry, just keep going. She said, do your squats, and I did my squats and banged my knees on the wall. So she said, come on, we're going to grass. I said, okay, we'll try it. So got the cane, we went to grass, and I could not move. Not one bit. It was so hard to move. So I coming back a little bit, and I said to Natalie, you got to get the wheelchair. Well, she took off running to get the wheelchair. And I understood why, because I couldn't move 1 more inch. She said it was too much work to walk in the grass. The one you were alluding to was she came off vacation, and she said to me, go ahead, get up, stop walking on the thing. She said, hold on, stop. She grabs my wrist, she looks at me, oh, you are Tom Nagel. It was such a difference from when she left and she came back to when I was walking. But again, I can't thank you people enough. Everybody was not only interesting, but insightful. Kelly, I don't know, she stood me in a corner all the time. Stay there 45 seconds, and she wanted me to stay more. I can't stand no more. Kelly, you gotta sit down. Next thing I know, I was standing for 15 minutes. but I was bored because she put all these things over there, and then I had to put them over here. Go get the combs. I can't reach anymore. Get the combs. The best part, she gave me the Bowflex, which was fantastic because I could do that, but I couldn't understand why I couldn't do much weight at all. I just couldn't move. I can't say enough about anybody that was in this place. I don't believe. I wish I met you all. There were a couple of faces I do know, only because of PT or whatever, but outside of that, these people are great. Alexa kept yelling at me, you gotta slow up. And I will tell you another thing. She gave me a test the first time she came out. Did a test, she says, I don't know what that is, what you're doing, whatever. So the day I was leaving, she says, here, do this test again. I did the test. She looked at the 2 pieces of paper, she says, well, you did this one, and the chicken you brought with you did that one. Well, I should thought it was a beaver, but. Yeah, the line, I couldn't write on the line. I couldn't put my alphabet down there. I had to put it somewhere else. It wasn't in my head. But all she said was, slow down, slow down, slow down. And I thought it was going slow. All I wanted to do was go up the stairs, down the stairs. I get annoyed at people. I watch some people going up and down the stairs, no cane, no nothing. Me, push, push, push. Again, thank you very much. I appreciate the award. I'm not too sure you people should be the one wearing this, all of this, I think. It was a great job by us all, okay? I had some nice roommates too, so that helped quite a bit. And I had visitors every day. Thank God my wife was around the corner, so she walked up here, or tripping. One of my kids, all my brothers were up here often. I do feel bad that they only came 1 per hour. We're busy, but I guess that was COVID. Okay, and COVID, whatever they did to me, I don't know. Mike owes me a lot of time now, and PT. He put me on a mat, turn your ankles. I could only turn 1 ankle. I couldn't turn the other ankle until I left here 2 months ago, and then both ankles go. So hopefully it's all going to go. The rest of it bends, and I'll be doing great. So I had all the support, not only from you, but my family. I guess that's all I want to say. Can say. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Can I help that? I don't need that.
The Helen Hayes MacArthur Rose Award is presented to a patient whose love of life and caring and concern for others has made a difference in the lives of the hospital's patients and staff. It is our absolute privilege to present this year's Rose Award to a true beacon of hope and strength, Serena Torres. Serena arrived at Helen Hayes Hospital 3 months into her battle with COVID-19. Prior to becoming sick, Serena was an active young woman who worked as a speech-language pathologist with special needs children. She and her husband were in an exciting time in their life, looking for their first house and expecting their first child. In October of 2020, while in her 7th month of pregnancy, Serena fell ill with pneumonia related to COVID-19. She was transferred to Westchester Medical Center due to her rapidly deteriorating health and was intubated and then placed on ECMO to replace some of the work of her heart and lungs. While intubated and on life support, her daughter was emergency delivered by C-section. It would be months before Serena would be able to hold her daughter. Serena's lungs failed, her heart and then her kidneys failed. She had vocal cord paralysis and blood clots that led to poor blood flow and ultimately amputation of all 10 toes. She required surgery on her left knee and lower leg fasciotomy related to complications from the illness. In December, she suffered a seizure. All this time in the hospital, she missed her 29th birthday, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, and those first precious months at home with her daughter.
On February 19th, Serena was finally stable enough to make the transfer to Helen Hayes Hospital. She arrived needing assistance to wash and dress herself, transfer in and out of bed, stand and walk. She was also experiencing cognitive changes in memory and word finding, with facial weakness making everyday tasks extremely difficult. She never became frustrated by her deficits, however, and spent 4 weeks diligently returning and relearning how to do the most basic daily activities, participating in physical, occupational, speech, and recreational therapy. As she progressed, one of her favorite sessions became learning to take care of the therapy doll, carrying, feeding, and dressing it. She couldn't wait until she was ready to be able to perform those tasks on her daughter. Serena was such a beacon of light while she was here, often going through painful, intensive therapies in all departments. She radiated hope and positivity, and it was infectious throughout the halls of Helen Hayes Hospital. She made it a point to learn the name of every staff member or patient who crossed paths with her so that she could thank them or encourage them to keep working hard. She made us all laugh and was a true inspiration to live life to the fullest, no matter what hardships or obstacles life brings us. Serena's love for life is written all over her face, and her compassion for others, whether it be the CNAs working alongside her that absolutely adored her, or the other therapists and staff members here, all the way to the easygoing conversations and ability to connect with other patients on her floor, is not to be forgotten. Her ability to find a silver lining in any situation, finding the good in other people, was refreshing to witness and was inspirational for other patients and staff members to follow. Serena is the definition of a fighter. She worked very hard in therapy, despite all the health issues and obstacles that she had to overcome. 23 weeks from the start of her sickness, she was able to return home to her husband and her daughter with gratitude and a smile on her face that made all around her want to cheer at how much she had accomplished. And it is with great honor that we present the Helen Hayes Hospital Rose Award to you, Serena. Congratulations.
Hi everyone, thank you Connie and Dylan for those beautiful words. I just want to thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart for all of the dedication that you guys have bestowed on me while I was at Helen Hayes for that month. Like I mentioned before, I didn't know how long I would be in a hospital for, but I never gave up every single day. And I chose to think of you all as my family, and in turn, you treated me as one of your own family members. And to me, that is the highest quality of medical care that any person can receive. And because of that alone, I recovered and continued to fight and continued to be positive, even though I was getting medical information that could have put anyone into deep sadness. I continued to fight because I knew that I could not give up, and I had to get home to my baby and my husband and my family. So I wish I could take this and give you all a piece, because you helped me so much. And from the bottom of my heart, I just have to thank you times a million for all of your help, your guidance, and your courage to help me to succeed. So thank you so much. And also thank you to my family, their prayers and their assistance with me during this time. They never gave up as well. And I just want to thank my family, my husband, my baby, and all my friends who also stood by me along the way. So thank you all. Yes.
physical therapist when he was here. I've got Josh.
I'm Josh, I'm the occupational therapist.
Hi. Oh, go ahead.
No,
sorry.
go ahead.
Hi, I'm Jessica, I'm an outpatient physical therapist.
All right, you ready? All right. Well, the Helen Hayes Hospital Spirit of Achievement Award recognizes a patient who demonstrates outstanding courage and determination and excels in his or her rehabilitation program despite overwhelming odds and challenging circumstances. I am incredibly honored to present Jacob Shikarides with this award today. Jake's energy, humor, and ability to push his boundaries and fight for his independence have allowed him to make remarkable gains and inspire us all. In May of 2020, Jake was involved in a life-changing car accident. He had surgery to stabilize his spine and was diagnosed with quadriplegia, which resulted in limited movement in his arms and almost no movement in his legs. When Jake arrived at Helen Hayes in June, he needed maximum assistance to care for himself, required a ceiling lift for transfers, and was unable to sit up, roll over, or even propel a wheelchair. Despite these obstacles, Jake embraced every challenge he faced in therapy, remaining undeterred in his resolve to overcome his physical limitations and capitalize on improvements in strength to achieve functional gains. He demonstrated a positive "let's do it" attitude and remained motivated and realistic in pursuing his highest level of independence and achieving his goals. Jake's positivity not only affected his success in his own therapy sessions, but also impacted those around him, including staff and other patients. He was encouraging and engaging and never shied away from cracking a joke. His colorful personality might be best exemplified in his request for a pink camouflage leg brace, which he's wearing today. In addition to his wit and dry sense of humor, Jake was also very candid and open regarding the struggles and challenges he faced, which took so much courage and grace that extended beyond his years. Through hard work and determination, Jake worked hard toward mastering a sliding board, feeding himself and brushing his teeth, and self-propelling his manual wheelchair. He had entered Helen Hayes on a stretcher, almost completely paralyzed from the chest down, but amazingly, he progressed to walking across the room with a walker by discharge from inpatient therapy.
In outpatient therapy, Jake continued to make remarkable improvements in his mobility. He was exceptional in his enthusiasm and willingness to try anything, maybe sometimes too enthusiastic. Jake gave 100% during every PT session and incorporated activities performed in therapy into his daily routines at home, and his hard work really showed. During one of his earliest outpatient sessions, Jake was challenged to stand up from his wheelchair using only his legs. By the next session, he had mastered standing from the wheelchair and was working to squat even deeper. He continues to give his all in outpatient therapy today and is now able to walk independently, go up and down stairs, and live independently, and no longer requires the use of a wheelchair. Despite many challenges along the way, Jake maintained his work ethic, good humor, and initiative to work towards his goals. Rehabilitation can be challenging, draining, and frustrating at times, but Jake always continued to move forward, making jokes and putting his best foot forward on the good days and the bad. Jake, you truly embody the hallmarks of Helen Hayes Hospital Spirit of Achievement Award, a positive spirit and hope for recovery propelled by your desire to not only achieve, but surpass your rehab goals. You're a beacon of hope for all facing physical and emotional challenges, and we cannot wait to see what your incredible future is in store. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I didn't realize.
I think you do
Oh,
that.
yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Well, I want to say thank you to everyone, because the truth is, everybody kept telling me, it's all about you and how hard you work and, everything I did. But I think if it wasn't for the people that were here and everyone that helped me, I might not have had the attitude and the humor that I did, because I got it right back when I gave it. You know, it wasn't one-sided. It was, you know, like a friendship. On top of that, you know, if it wasn't for, I feel like Dr. Len herself and answering all my questions, and no matter what it was about, you know, it helped teach me to learn what I need to do to know about myself. If it wasn't for knowing all of that, I don't think I'd be as far as I am. And I'm happy to say that, you know, I feel like I have friends here. You know, it's not just a patient-doctor kind of relationship. So that's that. I just wanted to say thank you for everything to everyone.
So Jake, we want to just give this to you.
Thank you.
It's the award. Just, you know, congratulations. You look amazing. You've done a tremendous job, and we just want to recognize it and say well done.
Thank you.
All right. Congratulations.